people are not going to like my take on this
Oh, I
because,
can't wait. I can't wait.
yeah. So I am not a CM Punk fan. I don't hide that I'm not a CM Punk fan.
You know.
I can also credit him, obviously, for the good things that he
Well,
does and has
Paul.
done. Yes, but some people automatically, when you say that you're not a fan of somebody and then you criticize them, they assume that that's the reason why you're criticizing them because they don't agree with you. But that's not the case. I think that people are not giving enough credit to Seth Rollins for this segment, especially. I think that when we're talking about people going back and forth on the mic with when it's CM Punk involved, people automatically assume or conclude that Punk knocked it out of the park. He killed it. He was better than the other person. I don't think that's the case. I was talking about this with my sister because she watched it too and she was like, I don't understand why people are saying Punk outdid Seth. That's not true.
No.
Seth obliterated that man. And
Well, see, I
I
don't even see that.
I think he did. And I'm not saying that it's like skewed like 90-10. I would say it was probably like 60-40 in Seth's favor is what
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay.
But the
Fair.
way that
Fine.
people are acting like it's the reverse is what I don't get because when you break it down, I think part of what made it so good is obviously the realism behind this beef, even if it's one-sided. We haven't heard anything from Punk to suggest that he felt some sort of disdain for Seth, the way that Seth has spoken about Punk and how he hated him. And obviously, there's been things that he has said over the years that he did not hide, that he did not like CM Punk, but we never really heard anything from Punk about that. So I think that the reason why Seth is able to be so good and why he was so good in this moment is because he's saying everything he's ever felt about Punk. He is able to dig into himself and like say these things, but masking it as, oh, this is just a program we're doing. This is just a promo. Because I'm sure him and Punk have hashed this out. They might not be friends. They might not get a beer or what water together.
Oh yeah, I forgot the fucking.
I know. They might not like hang out, maybe go get a burger together or something, but I'm sure that they've had a discussion because I think Seth is professional enough to do that. Kind of the same thing with him and Cody not being fond of each other. And I think that the reason that is the reason why Seth has been so good. And I think that's what's lacking from Punk. Punk it doesn't have those feelings in him about Seth, and so he can't match that energy. Because if we're talking about some of Punk's biggest moments and the most iconic moments of him on the mic, it was legitimately how he felt. So when he did the pipe bomb, why do you think the pipe bomb was so good? Because he was like, F the authority, F, everything. Like he was so over it. And that was why it was so good. Why did he do so well in AEW? Because he was so fed up with the BS that he was seeing that was around him. And I think that that's not what we're seeing right now. And if we look at what they even were saying to each other, I feel Seth had substance to what he was saying, whereas Punk is just doing the whole, I'm just here for money, you're a copy of me, and then like using cliche like phrases, like, oh, you have a fistful of arrows, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just nothing
that was good.
That great in comparison to what Seth is saying. But see, I have a hard time because so many people that I try to talk about this with are CM Punk fans. And a lot of CM Punk fans, I'm not saying you necessarily, a lot of CM Punk have a difficult time criticizing him for anything. Like they can't say anything wasn't perfect. It's like, oh, Punk did great. I'm like, I'm not saying he did badly, but also acting as if he drops the pipe bomb level of promo every single week is delusional. It's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
But anyway, I just think Seth did such a good job, and I think that he deserved to get more recognition for it. And at the end of the day, as I said, I think that people need to stop acting like Punk is killing it week in and week out, because he's not. And he shouldn't be. He shouldn't have to be. You know what I mean? Like, he can't do a pipe bomb every single week. It's not going to happen, but you can acknowledge that the guy he's talking against also probably did better. And I
Yeah.
think that was Seth this week.
I think that's I because here's the thing, I don't think either one, you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
see it that way. I see it as they both did their job in making this feel like a PLE fight. You know, and I'm massive CM Punk fan. I sing Seth Rollins' theme song at work. Like,
I
I don't have a side either way. And yes, Seth cooked and put Punk in his place, but Punk also really stood up for himself and was like, no, you don't get the full picture. So, what to me that is at it just made the match feel like, okay, these like who's in the right, who's in the wrong, it's gonna make this match feel like it's going to be a bloodbath nonetheless. But like we could see a trilogy. Like there's so many ways you can go with this,
Mhm.
and it makes you excited for the match. So I don't care who, whatever.